Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of Arrivals intel. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through a very easy, exotic loot cave that you can take advantage of this week. You can do this solo. And though it's been around for a while, we don't always get a chance to do it, so when it is available, I always suggest people take full advantage of it. It's going to allow you to farm out legendaries, possibly some prime engrams, as well as a whole bunch of legendary shards and other possible materials. I'm going to get to all the information regarding this loot cave in just one second, but first I just want to remind everybody I'm still doing the giveaway on my YouTube channel at 30,000 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway or any other giveaway on this YouTube channel is like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell that's right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And as always, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag, or sometimes I do a trivia question. You can leave the answer or the hashtag in the comments section to be entered into that giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, those secret hashtags or trivia question answers, they stack between all videos. So if you haven't done that on a previous piece of content on this channel, go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright, so loot cave, glitch, possible exotics. What do we mean by all of this in this particular video? Well, if you haven't noticed, I am doing the Rifleman mission. This is a possible heroic adventure available this week in the Tangled Shore, as the Tangled Shore is the flashpoint for the current week. And though the heroic adventure rotates every day, this will be an option at least twice in the cycle. So though it might not be the option the day you see this video, it will be an option at some point before the week is out. So I'll always suggest that people go and check and see what the actual heroic adventure is that week in the Tangled Shore. On that day in the Tangled Shore. So just simple, check it every day as the week carries out. But that's not the actual glitch. The thing about this particular adventure is, at the end, there is a very easy way, well, maybe not an easy way, but a fairly efficient way to kill the boss and reset the final encounter. And there's several ways to do it. I'm going to be showing you two methods. One is a slightly older method that I actually still think is probably the best method, and one is a newer method that revolves around a new exotic, which may or may not be held by the majority of people who might watch this video later on. However, the first one I think is a little bit more accessible to people who've been playing maybe even sporadically over the last few seasons. Another great thing about this particular adventure, and I do suggest that if you have this adventure available, to take advantage of this particular farm at any given point, though it might be more difficult to get high-end drops if it's not the heroic. So when it is the heroic, that's kind of what gives you the bump in possible drops, that being exotic or prime. But just progress through this heroic adventure as normal. It's fairly quick, which also makes this a great farm, because if you actually mess up on the glitch, which we'll get to when we reach the end of this adventure, you can simply start this adventure over again and you'll have as many chances as it's available. Which is great because, though this is a fairly easy glitch to do once you get into a rhythm, at first you might maybe mess up a couple of times, and having to do an entire adventure over that's long, regardless of how good a farm it is at the end, probably isn't worth it to most people. But in this case, you can progress through this adventure in a matter of 5 minutes, even if you mess up. So just go through it as normal until you get to the actual boss room. If you didn't know anything about the Rifleman boss, He essentially tries to snipe you from different vantage points, and he creates clones that also can snipe you. You can't do any damage to any of the clones. You can one-shot them with a hand cannon or even a melee, as you see me doing here, but it doesn't actually count towards the final damage. That can only be done to the actual boss, which, because there are several clones, is hard to track down, thus the actual boss fight. But there is a way you can tell where the particular boss is going to be at a specific point, and that's right at the beginning of this encounter. As you come in, you'll have one clone sitting on the main rock in front of you, and you can just run up and melee them. Won't do any damage to the boss, of course, but they also won't do too much to you, and you can simply just get through to the next stage, which is where you're actually going to need to pull off this glitch. Once you've meleeed the clone that's right in the middle of the room, as you see me doing here, they'll teleport to the top right corner up there. However, at this point, you'll get a clone, and the actual boss will spawn in directly behind the clone once it is destroyed. So as you'll see me doing here, I used the Wither Horde to essentially nuke the clone and create a well of damage. I then shoot another shot at the actual boss once he spawns in. This kind of gets a double damage. I get some extra damage from the actual hit of the second shot, as well as the well damage from the first shot. Once I've hit him, though, I'm going to shoot down to the bottom left of the pillar that he is standing on. That's because that's where the actual boss is going to teleport to. You'll have chance to do damage to him there as well, but you have to be fairly quick about it. So I would suggest planting another Wither Horde well, and then using your grenade. In this case, I'm a Warlock, which I would suggest as the class to do this particular glitch with, because Top Tree Warlock has a damage over time grenade. Charge the grenade and throw it right at the boss. This comboed with the Wither Horde damage over time of the well, plus the damage over time of the grenade, will wear the boss down to a very manageable point where only a couple of grenade shots, and I would suggest bringing a heavy grenade launcher, will kill him. Now, the other reason you're going to want a heavy grenade launcher in the heavy spot is to then kill yourself, because what you need to do is enough damage to the actual boss so that the damage over time effect actually ends up killing him at the end. You don't want to actually kill him with the grenade launcher. Once you know he's going to die, so once you've hit him with the grenade and a couple of grenade launcher shots, you're then going to want to run to one of the explosive nodes that are around this particular boss, which also makes this particular glitch easier, because then you're going to want to kill yourself before the actual timer runs out. What this will do is you'll get the boss kill and the drop from the boss, but you won't have to do the entire adventure over again. You'll simply reset to right at the beginning of this particular encounter, thus getting the loot and not having to do, again, the whole thing over again. And you can do this several times every few minutes. I would say it's possible to get one legendary or possible exotic or possible prime drop every 2 minutes or so. Granted, you don't run out of ammo. Now that's the new method. I'm going to go to a slightly older method now, and this is what I used back during the, I guess it would be the last DLC or last season. I believe this was from season of The Worthy. In this case, I was using the Izanagi's Burden, and I had to make sure that the Izanagi's was not the Catalyst version. For some reason, when it's the Catalyst version of Izanagi's, it doesn't work. And again, what I was doing here is I would run in, I would kill the clone with a single shot from my hand cannon, which will kill a clone as they don't take any damage. Switched to my Izanagi's with a charge shot already in hand. Shoot one shot at the boss, reload, and then shoot another shot at the boss before he teleported down to the actual bottom. It was important to get 2 shots with Izanagi's, 2 charge shots with Izanagi's in before he teleported. If you weren't able to get 2 shots in, you might as well just reset. And you can reset fairly easily because all you need to do is blow up one of these charged nodes, and again, you'll start right at the beginning of the actual adventure, or this encounter of the adventure. So, in my opinion, the Izanagi's method is probably the easiest, though it does require you being fairly quick and fairly accurate, as you need to get 2 shots in before he teleports. It's the only way you're ever going to be able to do enough damage to him from just throwing your grenade at the bottom to finish him off in enough time for you to then kill yourself before the actual boss dies. So that's the whole objective here. Kill the boss before he actually has time to teleport a second time, and you want to kill him with a damage over time effect, allowing you to reset and then letting him die during the reset period. So the boss will actually die while the timer is running out, but he'll still drop the loot that he would from that level of kill, in this case it being a heroic adventure boss. So that's going to be it pretty much for this video. Hopefully you found this information helpful. I have covered this in the past, but it's always good to reiterate these things because new people are always coming into the game, and some people might not remember this. It does take a little bit of practice, so keep that in mind. You might not get it on the first try, but once you get into a rhythm, I guarantee you'll be farming loot out as fast as you possibly can think. And as I said, you can get some exotics or prime Ingrams from this. I'm not sure if Umbral Ingrams are dropping from this now, but that's another possibility. So great loot farm all around. And for the secret hashtag, you can leave in the comment section of today's video. Leave a hashtag Season of Arrivals, or a hashtag Loot Cave, or a hashtag Rifleman Adventure, or anything else that you think might pertain to this particular video, anything we might have talked about. Leave that hashtag down below. Always love to hear from everybody if this worked out for you, how you're enjoying these kind of things, or just other things in the game as a whole. Please feel free, of course, to also join the Discord channel. That's also linked in the description. I don't really talk about it as much, but there is a fairly good community of people over there, always willing to help others out when it comes to endgame activity. So I encourage any viewers to join. You can play a game with me, maybe if you see me on occasionally. I always welcome a good invite and a good gaming sesh with anybody who watches my channel. But as always, I am Wilhelm Scream. Thank you so much, and of course we will see you in the next video. Little